Tells a story, I don't know if this is true or not, but that my mother opened the window here on Boston Street, was it 82 or 84 or whatever, and so when the party was getting lively, she passed the baby, me, just baptized here, the christening party was here.
Oh, it was here, the christening party was in here?
The christening party was right here. They put the baby right through the window.
And she stayed to party like a good mother.
And my mother stayed to party all night long. No, I'll tell you, it really is a pleasure, a privilege to come down here to the Polish American Citizens Club again. You can't imagine the many days and nights and experiences that I had here in this very, very building. I started representing this area. I've never represented any other area as much of the city than this area here, starting in 1970. And it was Ward 7, Precinct 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it was one of the greatest experiences because when I was born here, it was very traumatic times. I was talking to Tony, and I was sharing some of these stories. I was born in 1939. In 1939, Adolf Hitler occupied, September 1st, occupied Poland. And so I know that history about as well as anybody. And then, of course, in Poland, I just love the Polish people so much because of their courage. So that's 1939. They fought Adolf Hitler. 1945, they defeated Hitler and drove him out of Poland. Who comes in? Joseph Stalin. So these people are now living under the oppression of Nazism, communism. President of the United States appoints me ambassador to the Vatican. And who do I work with every single day? Karol Wojtyla, the Archbishop of Krakow. You know what? Met him here. Met him here. And when he first came to Boston in 1969, celebrated Mass up at St. Edward's with Monsignor Seifert. So, you know, when you see the name Flynn, don't be deceived. You think it's an Irish name. I'm going to tell you something. I'm more Polish than all of you are. I am so happy to come down here. I could talk all night long, as you can probably imagine. But I'm not going to do that because you have it here a celebration, special Constitution Day and whatever. But I'll just tell you, I'm so happy at the invitation of the City Council and all of you, the President. First woman President of the Polish American Citizens. I had to deal with Tony, I had to deal with Joe Alex, and who else? Kowalski, Jack,
Yeah.
and oh God Almighty! I never met a girl down here. So,
I think that's a good thing, maybe.
yeah. So this is very special, very special. Last point. I'm all wound up. But one of the best things I think I ever did in politics. We had a little table. We put the table right over where that thing is over there. And I asked people to come in every Saturday morning. This is during the martial law in Poland. And people would come in. This is when the communists took over the shipyards in Gdansk. They changed it to the linen shipyards. And I used to get all the cash money and checks, baby clothes, everything. And this room would be full up with all kinds of gifts. And right, Tony?
Yeah.
And then I used to get on the plane. John W. McCormick lived right up the street here.
Yeah. But
John W. McCormick, the former Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. And he'd put me on a plane and would fill that plane up with all kinds of material. Off we would go to support the striking shipyard workers up at Gdansk. And I had to get a truck and get in there in the middle of the night because the communists wouldn't let us get into the shipyard at the time. If we got caught, we'd be put in jail. And my son Eddie, you know Eddie, my son Eddie was there with me. And he was in the back of a flatbed truck with a blanket over him. And there was a young girl, I'm gonna stop here in a second. There was a little girl that assisted us in getting into the linen shipyard, the Don shipyard, my right hand to God. The communist people found out about it. 2 days later, she was savagely beaten and killed because of assisting us getting into the shipyard. Eddie and I get in the car. We went back to Warsaw, but back to Munich. Was on CBS that night. The little girl, Amada. Nobody ever knows the story. Nobody knows anything about it. That, my friends, is the courage of the Polish people. I am so proud of being associated. I'm not running for anything. I'm just telling you my experiences. And it's about my experiences with the Polish people. I'm so proud. Thank you for inviting me.